Good morning student. My name is Miss Manisha Borkar, Department of Fishery Science, NES Science College, Nanded. Now today we are going to start the theory paper second. The name of paper is the type study of Valagattu. It is commonly called as a freshwater shark. Now today we are seeing that the unit number second. The topic is physiology of respiration. In previous lecture we are seeing that the respiration and the structure of the gills. Today we are seeing the physiology of the respiration. Okay, here's in aquatic respiration differs from aerial respiration in a several aspects. Okay, there is a difference between the aquatic respiration and the aerial respiration. Okay, in aquatic respiration which is take place by the gills, and the oxygen is taken by the dissolved form in the water, and enhance the carbon dioxide is again in the dissolved form. Here the density of water is 800 times more than that of air at the same temperature. Now it contains 0.04 to the 9.0 cc of oxygen per liter, literally, while air has a 105 to 130 cc of a oxygen per liter, and the oxygen consumption of a fish also less than that of the land vertebrates. Okay, there is a comparison between the aquatic animal as well as the land vertebrate animals. Now it has said that the flow of water over the gills is continuous, and the gills are very efficient in absorbing oxygen from the respiratory water current. Now, in spite of the differences in the physical and the chemical properties of the air and the water, the fundamental process of gaseous exchange in the gills and the lungs is the same. Okay, this procedure of the land as well as the aquatic animals, okay, gills and the lungs, which is in a same manner. Now it is not possible to make any distinction between inspiration and the expiration in a valago. Okay, inspiration means intake of the oxygen, and expiration means that the inhalation of that the carbon dioxide, okay, outside to the body. Through it appears that the intake and expulsion of water takes place alternately in it, but is noted earlier the respiratory current of the water flows continuously over the gills. The inspiration and expiration of water current is brought about the expansion and the contraction of the buccal and opercular cavities alternately. As you know that the carbon dioxide, the oxygen is taking place to the water is taking place to the fish mouth, to the buccal cavity, and it floats on the pharynx to that the gills. Okay, and again it will be expands to the again water. The operculum is closed with a force that the mouth is open for taking in a water. The buccal cavity works first as a suction pump, then as pressure pump for producing a respiratory current. The respiratory rhythm is interrupted at regular intervals, and during this period the direction of the respiratory current is reserve form. Water is forced out of the mouth with force. This is known as a coughing reflex. Okay, as you know that the water current which will be taken as in the force manner, then the expulsion of that the carbon dioxide is again in the form of the force form. This is known as a coughing reflex. The fish gets rid of the undesirable matter in this cleaning reflex. Now next one is the structure of the gills and the distribution of the afferent and the efferent vessels is such that the respiratory surface comes in close contact with the respiratory water current. A high percentage of oxygen in the respiratory current is approximately 60% of its absorbed by the gills. Okay, here's this water current which will be absorbed approximately in a 60% of the gills. The rate of oxygen consumption is related to the size of the fish and amount of oxygen present in the water. Okay, the rate of that, the oxygen percentage is depends on the size of that the fish and the amount of oxygen which is present in the water. It is markedly affected by the presence of carbon dioxide, acidity of water, and the presence of the chemicals in it. As you know that the water which having the physico-chemical parameters in that the form. Okay, there is a various chemicals are present in the water, where there is a various biological factors as will be present in that the water. The all affects on that the water. The respiratory rate increases with the increase in carbon dioxide concentration of water in the environment of the fish. The respiratory cycle is controlled by the central nervous system. Okay, these all over the respiratory system which is controlled by the central nervous system. As you know that we will see in the structure of the brain and how to the process will be controlled to the central nervous system, as you call as a CNS system. Now, an autonomous respiratory center has been located in the medulla oblongata. Okay, this is the part of that the brain and the nervous system of the fish. The cranial nerves supplying the pharyngeal and branchial regions have been absorbed elsewhere. Okay, as you know that there is in a nervous system there are various spinal nerves as well as the cranial nerves will be present. Okay, this will be the pharyngeal and the branchial regions of the fish. This fish blood also plays an important part in a respiration. Okay, as you know that the gills will be performed as the structure, gills will be performed that the respiratory organ of the fish, and as well as this blood will be taking in the part of the respiration of the fish. It never becomes saturated with oxygen when high concentration of carbon dioxide is present in its environment. A part of hemoglobin is prevented from combining with oxygen in presence of the carbonic acid, and this is called as a root effect. Okay, the scientist discovered that the scientist name is a root in the year 1931. As this process we are called as the root effect. The next one is the fish blood transports more carbon dioxide at the lower temperature than at a high temperature. The hemoglobin has 4 human units and the erythrocytes carry oxygen in an efficient manner. Okay, this is the our physiology of the respiration we are seen here. Okay, in our next lecture we are start that the unit number 3rd.